promoting and supporting some of the cornerstones of the American experience. It's all about family, faith, and freedom. Now let's get back to the Curtis Report with your host, Barry Curtis.
Thanks, Abe. Welcome back to the Curtis Report. Appreciate you being back. Check us out, our website, thecurtisreport.com. That's thecurtisreport.com, where you'll see bios, photos of former guests, current guests, future guests. Check us out there, thecurtisreport.com. Also, contributors to the website. Original material and stuff that they may repost in other newspapers and things across the country, mine too, are up there on the site. TheCurtisReport.com or TheCurtisInitiative.com will take you to the same place. We encourage your participation there on our website. Sign up too. Go and enroll and sign up for our newsletter. We got thousands upon thousands of folks on that newsletter there that we send out. So feel free to do that. Thank you very much for making us number one in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We are number one on Sundays between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Central Time. We do this thing every single week. Thank you for making us number one in conservative Christian talk radio on Sundays here between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. We're number one. Everybody else in the Metroplex, hey, you're following us. We're number one. We are eternally grateful, and I am humbled by you doing so. I'm your host, Barry Curtis, here on the Curtis Report. Every Sunday we talk about family, faith, and freedom. We're based here in Dallas, and we're on 100.7 The Word Christian Conservative Talk Radio, Christian Radio, 100.7 The Word Christian Radio. We appreciate you tuning in, as always. We were talking earlier about John Wiley Price, Dallas County Commissioner John Wiley Price. You already know how I feel about him. It is what it is. He is taking advantage of low information voters in the district that he represents. And it's just really basically atrocious. We said a lot, probably too much, about it already, but it's just really atrocious. And I can't, and I'm struggling here just a little bit, only because, the more and more I think about this guy, how atrocious he is, it sounds almost personal that you all would think that I have with him. It's not. It is principled. And that can be just as reason to be tenacious as anything else. He goes against everything that we fight for here. It's the core of what we believe in our belief system here. He's just, it's just hideous at what he does. He's used the office of Dallas County Commissioner to personally enrich himself. When he was arrested, we've been on this for $400,000 in cash in his pocket. He's got a 107-page indictment, federal indictment against him. He has absconded funds, presumably. He has stood in the way of economic development from, for the same black people he professes to represent. He's a black man that wears his blackness. Everything's through the perspective of blackness for John Wiley Price, but he does this. Here's the thing on him. Here's a new thing. And I think we've used up now this is like the third segment, and I really didn't want to speak this much about John Wiley Price and give him this much time, but you need to know about him. You need to know what's going on. And I want you to check out. This is so sick. Now, and I mean, this is really pathetic. I know some people involved with the organization of the thing, but this is so sick. There is a Facebook page called Justice for John, a community fundraiser. That's what it's called on Facebook. Check this out. Justice for John, a community fundraiser on Facebook, where John Wiley Price, and they got his picture up there. Now is the time to stand. Justice for John fundraiser. Justice for John community fundraiser. August 20th is when it is. Justice for John. And it's going to be Thursday, August 20th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's going to be at St. Martin's Place. They're at 2603 Martin Luther King Boulevard. Pathetic. But this is what he does. This is part of the sickness of John Wiley Price. He goes to the black churches and the black community and say, look at what those white people are doing to me. Look what they're doing to us. Look what they're persecuting us. Really, John Wiley Price? Really? There's a 107-page federal indictment where the federal government, the FBI, lays out in detail how you personally took bribes and money to enrich yourself, how you personally stood in the way of economic development in South Dallas that would have helped the black people that you profess to help, particularly the Inland Port Project. You stood in the way of that. They backed out of the Inland Port Project that would have created thousands upon thousands of jobs and hundreds of millions of dollars in economic development there in South Dallas. You stood in the way. They didn't pay you off, John Wiley Price, so they dropped the Inland Port Project. You stood in the way of that. So the same people there in the who are raising funds for you are the same low information voters, low fruit picking voters as far as low information off the information tree, John Wiley Price, that you profess to help. But check this out on Facebook. It is absolutely disgusting. Remember, you can donate, this is what it says on here, from $5 to $5,000. No amount is too small or too big. Justice for John. You know what would be justice for John Wiley Price? You know what would be justice for this situation? To him behind bars in a federal prison. That would be justice for John Wiley Price. But no, they've got this website here. This is the sickness that is. You people organizing what? They're trying to raise $85,000 to help defray the cost of his financial obligation for his defense. What they're not saying in there is that the taxpayers of Dallas County are already contributing and chipping in for this man's defense. This man's defense for what? That they got him stealing, enriching himself for the office, but now there's a fundraiser to raise money to help, and get this, to help defray the cost of his financial obligation for his defense. Your donation is needed and greatly appreciated. Now, you notice that they didn't say this is going toward his attorney's fees, to help defray the cost of his financial obligation to his defense. Why such ambiguity in what the money's going to be used for? John Wiley Price, you have a right to have any kind of fundraiser you want. Are you paying the taxes on that? Is that a gift tax? What are you paying on that, John Wiley Price? Maybe we should make a call to the FBI, let them investigate that part. You're getting just cash money from folks again? Are you reporting that? You have people around you, John Wiley Price, Karen Manning and others, who are going to federal prison because of the tax manipulation that you encourage them to do. I'm just wondering, they're just going to hand you over $85,000 in cash in this fundraiser on August the 20th, and you're going to do what with it? Are you reporting that, John Wiley Price, to the feds? I'm going to drop a note to the feds just to make sure that they are aware of it. But are you reporting that? You're just taking these folks' money? This is the horrific part of that, John Wiley Price. You're taking these people's money. You're having this thing done at a religious place because you want to wrap this up into your blackness and in religion there in the black community, as if somebody's persecuting you. No one's persecuting you. This is sick and disgusting. You're shameful. John Wiley Price, have you no shame? Where do you stop? $5 to $5,000. You know why? There are some little ladies, some little guys who are going to sit there and cash their Social Security checks. Little black women, little black men go cash those Social Security checks, and they're going to hand you over their hard earned through years of work in their retirement. They're badly needed $5 and $10 for you, for your campaign, for you to take and put in your pocket, for your losing, not your campaign, for your defense against your losing case in federal court, or just to go into your pocket to pay your mortgage, right? Why don't you sell one of those 5 or 6 cars that you own, John Wiley Price? Why don't you sell some of that various property that you own there in South Dallas, John Wiley Price? You are just the worst of the worst. But check that out on Facebook. Justice for John on Facebook, a fundraiser for soon to be convicted but indicted John Wiley Price, Dallas County Commissioner. We're going to take this break. We'll be right back with more of the Curtis Report in just a moment.